Have you ever gone shopping for a pint of milk and ended up with a trolley load of other stuff? You're not alone.
No, get the bubblegum flavour. Get the bubblegum flavour. Why?
No.
Because we don't buy this one, do we?
No,
we buy the other one.
Let's go.
Are you a premium loyal? Do you know your bog-offs from your planograms? Is eye level really buy level? And just what is a store rumble?
Everyone should attend a store rumble. That goes from GAs, team leaders, section managers, up to store manager if need be. Everyone attends a store rumble.
We take a trip to the front line in the corporate war for your hard-earned cash.
Today's battleground is about loyalty, and that loyalty is driven by what's important to us as shoppers. And what's important to us is time.
And we'll be hitting the aisles with Britain's canniest shopper, who'll show us how to avoid some of the tricks used to manipulate customers.
I remember the line out of the Lord's Prayer as I go through the supermarket doors, and that line is, Lord, lead me not into temptation.
Keep watching and learn how to shop smart.
Just such a beautiful shop. You just stand here and look at it. This is what, well, for me, I'm just so passionate about it, as my team are. This is what retailing's all about. This is at the absolute cutting edge of retail.
Sukhwinder Bassi is the general manager of a typical British supermarket. He's also a commander on the front line of one of the biggest commercial battles of the century. The fight among the supermarket giants for the contents of your wallet. We spend more than £134 billion on groceries every year, and the major chains like Asda, Sainsbury, Morrisons and Tesco are all engaged in an endless struggle for our hearts and minds. Nothing in a modern supermarket is left to chance. Everything in the store is carefully thought through and managed to encourage us to spend more money, and then to come back next week and spend all over again. So how's it done? To help find some answers, we've gained access to a state-of-the-art 100,000 square foot hypermarket that Tesco have built here in Beckton, East London, just up the road from the 2012 Olympic site. Using this megastore as a case study, we'll find out some of the psychological techniques common to all supermarkets. The stores would like us all to be happy shoppers, and Sukhwinder is clearly a man on a mission.
I honestly believe that the job we do in stores actually makes a difference to people's lives. We not only provide, the bare essentials, but actually we do so much more than that. You look at our finest ranges, you look at our cosmetics, you look at, electrical. It's no longer about, keeping up with the Joneses. It's actually about getting ahead of the Joneses. The things we eat and our lifestyle says something about who we are as people.
This vast cathedral of consumption is open 24 hours a day, and it's still expanding. It sells everything from food to HD televisions. 50,000 of us shop here and spend close on £2 million every single week. We'll be following a family of typical shoppers to see how they're affected by all the in-store trickery. Khalid and Rita Rana are big spenders. With 4 kids to clothe and feed, their weekly shop costs about £150. In supermarket speak, they're called premium loyals, the creme de la creme of shoppers, whom all supermarkets would love to attract.
We go in with one trolley, and we somehow come out always with 2 trolleys. It's buy one, get one frees. All of those, they all add up to number 2 trolley.
But no supermarket ever forced a customer to make a purchase. Their psychological approach is far more subtle, so we'll need some expert advice. Carl McKeever has years of experience as a consultant working with major brands and helping actually to design supermarkets. If anyone can teach us some of the tricks of the trade, it's him.
Hi Carol, morning.
Hi Sally.
So what's the plan then?
Well, we're going to have a really good look around this store today. I think the important thing for people to realise is that a big modern supermarket is just not a shop. It's actually a retail theme park. And they're always trying to deliver what we call in the trade retail theatre. So we're going to follow the runners around the store, have a look what they're buying, and then really see what's going on.
That sounds like a good plan. So where do you start?
Well, it's really important for stores to try and drive sales, and they'll do that with lots of promotions. So they like to position those in the promotional aisle, and that's exactly where we're going to start.
Okay, off you go then. See you later.
And this is known as the power aisle. It's one of the most important parts of the overall store layout. Just like on a map, it's the major motorway throughout the centre of the store. And once a customer is here, they can usually find their way to everything they're looking for, whether it's big brand promotional deals or any of the individual separate sub-departments. The power aisle is really the heart of the store, and the customer drives all of their decisions from this point.
The supermarkets are well aware of the impact a well-designed power aisle can have.
This is where we put our strongest offers, and customer looks down this and says, well, actually, if I can't get it here, I can't get it anywhere. It's awesome, absolutely awesome.
Once in the power aisle, this is where customers can find all the really big deals, and it's typically where suppliers are keen to get their products in the most important part of the store. Because of course, for every one product that a customer will buy, you're going to get another one free. In the industry, this is known as a bog off, and it's not a rude word. It simply means buy one, get one free.
And those on the inside know just how effective this is. They even have a nickname for the technique used to manipulate us shoppers.
Different people call it different things. We call it bait and switch. It's kind of like the fishing term. So, you know, we throw the customer a bait, which is we put our strong offers on the end of the aisle. So, as an example, we've got a strong offer on buy one, get one free ski yogurts, which is next to the yogurts aisle. So, a customer would look at that and say, wow, that's an awesome offer. And then entice the customer to look at the rest of the yogurts.
So how will our shoppers react? Carol is analysing the Rana's every move and will give them feedback once their shopping's done.
Pick your yogurt. Pick your yogurt.
The children
Yeah,
grab
that's
their
fine.
favourite
And then when
yogurts,
we come
but they
back the
don't
other
read
way,
the sign
pick that
and
down
miss
there.
out on the offer. Realising their mistake, Khaled steps in to make the most of the special deal.
That time. Yeah, because it's buy one, get one free, isn't it? Take a strawberry one. How often do you think you are influenced by the special offers in store?
Quite a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah, because I've got a big family, so buy one, get one free.
Okay, so those things are really quite important
Yes,
to you.
they are.
Okay, so with that sign, did you notice if there was any particular colour that was being used?
Yes, it was bright yellow.
So you really saw it. And actually, if you notice around the store, everything that's got a special price or great value, something that the company really would like you to see, they use yellow as a beacon colour to really stands out and catches your attention.
It did.
So you know, whether it's a reduced product or a special offer, yellow is used to really draw your eyesight.
Okay.
And if the special offers work well, they'll entice you to buy more than you actually need. So, working their magic and driving up sales.
When you see toothpaste, let me know.
Okay then.
Here come the Ranas, and Khaled's finding the bog-offs irresistible.
Listen.
So when you were in the health and beauty aisle, you bought some shower gel and some shampoo and stuff like that. Now some of those products were on special offer. Did you notice that when you were buying them, or did you just go for brands that you normally use?
I went for the branded ones first, and then while I was there I saw it was buy one get one free, so I picked up 4 in the end.
Oh right, okay, so you bought more as a result of that special offer?
I bought more as opposed to the offer, yeah.
Okay, now the offer itself was marked differently on the shelf. It had got, you know, sort of some signage, and it was on a different level.
Eye level, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and that's exactly where they like to position those special offers, so you're guaranteed to see it.
Yeah.
Because of course if they're on the lower shelves or they're out of reach, chances are they won't sell quite so many. So you really did fall for that one as well. Yeah, so not just buying 2, you actually took 4 home.
But we only paid for 2.
One more than intended. Bingo, as far as the supermarkets are concerned. In order for this whole system to work properly, the staff have to perform. This store has just undergone a major refit and has a new manager, Sukhwinder. Now it's payback time.
You know, if I'm honest with you guys, I've found a lot of my time going around, you know, becoming the detail list manager. Yeah, so, you know, we walk the shop and we say, "Look, that's not very clean. Where's that product? Where's that size all? What's happening with that shelf edge label?" If we continue down that road, 2 things will happen. One is I'll keel over and die because I can't keep doing that forever. And secondly is the bit where, you know, must wind you guys up as well. Okay, so for me to stop doing that, you guys need to start doing it. Yeah?
Pep talk over, he takes his management team on a whistle-stop tour of the store to show them what's new. On this evidence, it's difficult to see what Tesco doesn't sell.
When you went round, did you see stuff that you hadn't seen before? Yeah? So actually, if as a management team, you know, we've gone round, we've noticed different things. You know, there's a huge opportunity for us to get our staff to see this, because actually, you know, there's 500 odd ambassadors for the store that can go and talk about all the great things that we're doing at the moment. Yeah?
And it's not long before the team's hard work begins to pay off. Just minutes into their shop, the Ranas once again find themselves buying more than they'd planned.
Okay, someone look at the number.
Gerard.
No.
Gerard.
Someone.
Where is he? That's me. That's mine. That's mine. Gerard is mine.
No, you want pirates of the Caribbean.
Daddy, can I have
We don't get
Gerard?
any then. Come on,
I
let's
like
go.
Gerard. This one. Oh, please. I
No,
like
come on then.
football. Should I just have this?
Did you start off today wanting to buy a poster?
Not really, no. He happened to sort of wander there somehow while I don't know what I was doing, picking something else up.
So this was an impulse buy.
It was,
Yes.
yeah.
Now the stores actually use this as a process called see it, like it and buy it. And they're relying on the fact that, first of all, they want you to fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you like it, you have to then be able to put it in your trolley without even thinking about it next.
So we fell into their trap.
You fell into the trap, absolutely.
I like these.
Impulse buying is the classic way of spending more than you planned. But amazingly, 8 out of 10 of us no longer use a list when we go shopping, leaving us very vulnerable to temptation. And there are tens of thousands of desirable items out there. But we can show you how to avoid these pitfalls.
Come on, let's go. No, put your hanger on. Put the hanger on.
Prepare to meet the man who may well be Britain's canniest shopper.
Right, just like to put these glasses on.
This is Stephen Kraft, retired scientist and bargain hunter extraordinaire. He claims to have the supermarket sussed. None of their psychological tricks or mind games works on him.
That is your eye.
It's like something out of a horror movie.
What's going to happen?
He's been
now
fitted
is
with a
you're
high-tech
gonna see your eye
infrared
out, see
eye-tracking camera.
We'll be able to see what
It will record in pinpoint detail everything he looks at while shopping.
head very still. Just
It will allow a team of experts to analyse his conscious and subconscious decision-making. So can he really resist the temptations that lie in store?
off we go shopping, and I'll see you later.
I'm going to get some funny looks wearing this gizmo, I can see that.
Not at all.
According to the experts behind the eye camera, convenience is king in our hectic, time-poor modern lives.
Today's battleground is about loyalty, and that loyalty is driven by what's important to us as shoppers. And what's important to us is time. If I can get you in and out of here more efficiently, more quickly, then that's going to start to build towards my loyalty.
Surprisingly, they say that nowadays price and value for money come way down the list for most of us. So will Stephen fit their model? It's clear from the moment he entered the store that he is not behaving like your average shopper.
As you walked into the store, you turned left and then walked down the bottom of the store in front of the checkouts.
Right.
Is that what you'd normally do? Is that the route you'd normally take as you come into the store?
Yeah, the reason for that is that I'm heading straight for the bargain shelves where they're selling produce that's coming up to its use by or its sell by date.
Okay.
And I tend to go there first. They have one shelf in front of the other, and I have a good old rummage around.
Stephen knows where the cheapest products and offers are kept, but unlike most of us, he actually compares prices when he sees a special deal.
Well, they have bog-offs, and it works out cheaper to buy two of certain items. And this is 2 for £5, for example. I'm just trying to work out the worth of about £3. See, it's still not cheap enough, actually, so I'm not going to bother with that.
Most shoppers will see the red and yellow, which they've learnt is that means a promotion.
Yeah.
And most shoppers won't actually read the words. So they're not actually making the decision that you're making in terms of evaluating the actual value.
Not many of us know where these sorts of bargains are to be found in the store. And unlike with their more expensive ranges, the supermarkets don't make much effort to point them out to us. According to Stephen, shoppers on a budget are forced to travel all over the shop to pick up cheap basics.
Well, they periodically change the layout of the supermarket, and I wish they wouldn't do that without asking me first, so that you actually have to hunt for the staples, the cheap staples that you buy. I can see with the layout of this supermarket how they're making you go past the more expensive items in the hope that you'll impulse buy them. It doesn't work with me, by the way. And then you have to hunt for the staples, and in so doing, buy all the other stuff as well that they make the money on.
But even a canny shopper like Stephen knows just how much temptation's out there. So he's equipped himself to cope with the pressure.
The other thing that I noticed that was very interesting was as you're going around, you're using a calculator. Again, is that something that you'd normally do?
The calculator is a braking mechanism to stop me going mad, as it were, because sometimes it is tempting if there's a lot on offer to buy too much.
Right.
And I've never done it, but it is possible to buy too much stuff, for example, that needs to be frozen, or too much that's perishable, and get it home and then have to throw it out.
Right.
And obviously that does not translate into a bargain.
But it's not all about price. Product packaging, or the lack of it, is a hugely important factor in Stephen's decision-making. And as shoppers, it's worth remembering that the cost of packaging is built into the price. So in a sense, you're just throwing money away.
Now, I would never buy this, A, because it's very expensive, B, because it's tasteless. I tried it once. And C, because it's over-packaged. This is minimal packaging. It's very roughly cut bacon, but it all goes down the same way. In fact, I think I'll have a few of these. I shouldn't buy this stuff at all, really, because I'm a member of the Jewish Brethren, but I don't give a monkeys. So, I just hope the rabbi can't see me doing this right now. It's not really allowed. But this is what I call value for money. It's 93 pence for 250 grams. And that's not bad at all, so I'll have a few of those.
Again, most shoppers use packaging to make value judgments about if it's nicely packed, it's probably going to taste nice and so forth.
Well, that's a psychological trick. It's a standard psychological trick the supermarkets used. But environmentally, it's irresponsible. The public needs re-educating, and indeed the supermarkets need re-educating. The amount of waste we produce as a nation, by the way, as an aside, is enough to fill up the Albert Hall every hour. So that's 24 Albert Hall volumes of waste per day that as a nation we produce, and this is in a very big way responsible for it.
But if packaging's a concern, there's plenty more where that came from. It's late in the evening and these Tesco staff have just come on shift. They've a long night ahead of them.
In order to stay open for 24 hours, this shop employs around 500 people. Throughout the night, an army of workers most of us shoppers never see are getting the shop ready for the next day's trading. So what exactly goes on behind the scenes?
It's now 2 a.m. in the store that never sleeps. Brian Wellard is in charge of replenishing frozen foods and ice cream.
unless you work it, you wouldn't realise how much ice cream you sell throughout winter as well. And you sell a lot more ice cream than you think. And it's good, because I love ice cream and all.
Although most of us will never meet the night team, they're the ones who have to manage the dozens of overnight truck deliveries and shift the thousands of products from the back storerooms onto the shelves and aisles, ready to tempt us to take them home.
This lot is all groceries. You got the beer, you got the beer and wine section down there. All grocery goes that way, as you can see, all their crisps and all that, everything. And as you can see, just coming in behind you, one of the members of the grocery team. All right, Alf?
Hi, Brian. You all right?
I'm all right. He's doing the pet food aisle for tonight. Josh, our back doorman, good fella.
All right.
I could kill him sometimes. He's unloading our fresh delivery. Right, Drive? This is the freshest delivery. And this is where sometimes my frozen comes on the freezer section of the lorry.
Although his is not skilled work, Brian takes great pride in it. Supermarkets have a customer service ideology they're keen to impart to all their employees.
Anyone, as I say, can throw boxes on a shelf. Anyone can do it. But the thing is, to put it out, to have it set up and faced right, when you walk away and you look at it and it's all near enough straight line and it's all done, it's nice.
It's clear that getting a supermarket ready for trading is a complex logistical operation of the first order.
So in a store that stocks thousands of products, how do they manage the complex decisions about what sits where on shelf? Quite simply, they use a system of planograms. Every single item in store is predetermined in terms of its shelf position. These are issued to stores, and quite simply when the promotions change, the staff follow the planogram and precisely plot the position of everything in each single location.
What this shows is just how centralised the large supermarket chains are. It's no coincidence that they all look so similar inside. The brains back at head office design their planograms to make sure certain products fly off the shelves. And it works.
Daddy, our trolley is full now.
Yeah, I know.
I think everything is going to get squashed.
The supermarkets are experts at understanding the commercial value of every single space in store. And as eye level is typically bi level, it's little wonder that they prioritise higher selling products at this height. What we can see is, in garden peas, an equivalent product of a similar nature but of a significantly lower price is positioned in a far less visible position. If it's not so easily seen, they won't sell quite so many. What it does mean is that they sell more products of a higher value.
Of course, your eye level varies according to how old you are. Supermarkets don't just want to tempt whoever's paying for the shopping. One of the most effective ways of making money is to target children, who then target their parents. Products aimed at children will be put on the lower shelves where they can see them and pick them up.
We got the bubblegum flavour.
It's called Pester Power.
Bubblegum flavour. That's it, I'm having this one. Daddy, why don't we get the bubblegum flavour? Yeah, get the bubblegum flavour. It's wicked. It's nice.
Yeah, but this is the Tesco one. We don't buy the Tesco.
Why? We bought the Spider-Man one from Tesco and we're going to buy it anyway from Tesco.
Where's the one that
Hello, Narnia.
So when you were in the toothpaste aisle, I see as Mum and Dad you came under some heavy Pester Power there from Asia. She was very keen on buying a particular brand, but you weren't quite so sure.
Aisha picked up the bubblegum flavoured toothpaste.
Yes, and you weren't having that at all.
No, because it was the Tesco's own brand, and the normal toothpaste that we buy wasn't there.
And once again, just the same as the magazines, we saw that those character toothpaste, those novelty items which were designed for kids, are actually at kids' height.
Yes.
So they're going to sell more because the children just see them.
We can see how easily children are seduced by colourful products featuring cartoon characters or which come with free toys and the like. But adults are also psychologically susceptible to purchasing things simply because they're well presented, symmetrical and look glossy.
Supermarkets are always looking for new ways about how they can improve the presentation of products in store, and this fixture is a good example of the type of innovations that are going on. In this category for designer hair care, you can see how lighting is being used to really increase the impact of the brands on the shelves. And you can see here how the products on this side of the shelf look really good, but when we come to this section, they're all a mess. So stores will invest hundreds of hours each week turning the labels around so that each of these products looks as good as it can on shelf. And of course, when the whole section's tidy and turned around, even the fine detail of levelling things up on the shelf really counts to help them sell more.
At Tesco, there's even a special name for facing forward all the products on their shelves and making the shop neat and tidy. They call it the Daily Rumble, and no one's exempt.
You will find, no matter who we are, we'll whether you work in a head office or whether you work in the offices out the back, we all get together and we rumble the store.
Rooney back there.
Yes. No, he isn't. He's still suspended. He's still suspended, so you've got half a chance. Part of what I try to do is that whilst my teams are rumbling across the store, my role really is to cheer them on and tell them they're doing an absolutely cracking job, and a little bit of competition as well. So with the 4 teams across the store, it's to see who gets to the middle first. So when we've finished rumbling an area, it looks like the hairspray and so on does there.
Every little helps, but some people need extra persuasion to get them into the store.
I'm only here today because they've given me a voucher for double club card points because this store has just opened an extra part. I usually do all my shopping online. I don't usually set foot inside this place.
Loyalty cards like Nectar or the Tesco Club Card are a key to making shoppers choose one supermarket and stick with it. Sign up to these schemes and you'll receive points when you shop that can later be exchanged for discounts or rewards. The supermarkets collect data from their tills to build up profiles of our personal shopping habits. But that means trawling through an awful lot of information on a daily basis. In order to make sense of it all, Tesco turned to this company. dunnhumby are marketing analysts who developed a complex system for identifying different types of shopper from the Tesco data. They could then be targeted with specific offers and promotions that match their personal tastes.
The real trick for supermarkets is to get a little teeny bit more from the customers who visit them. If you like, that's what Sainsbury's strategy is. Try something different, implies buy something you don't buy from us today. Tesco's strategy, every little helps. We're trying to, by understanding the customer, show we can offer them something that perhaps they wouldn't consider buying from Tesco. And actually, trying to get a completely new customer to come into a store is really hard. Getting a customer who already comes into the store to buy 2 or 3 more things is a lot easier. And so yes, we're trying to build loyalty, if you want to call it loyalty. I actually don't like the word loyalty. We're trying to build our share of the wallet. If I can get 55% instead of 50% of the wallet, that's going to be good for my business, and hopefully I'm giving you great value for money too.
Every supermarket wants its customers to think they're getting the best value for money, and huge amounts of signs are used to do this in store. This one here gives a comparison of prices between leading competitors, helping you to think that you're getting the best value for money.
With this sort of price checking, the supermarkets only compare themselves to each other, convincing you it's the cheapest deal around. In fact, it's been proved that in many cases, traditional street markets offer much better value. But most of us prefer the convenience of having everything under one roof. So some parts of a supermarket take the idea of the shopping experience as a consumer theme park literally. In the trade, this is called retail theatre.
We're standing here in what is probably a market area of the store, and it's the area which perhaps got the greatest amount of theatre. Each of the areas is specifically coloured and zoned and themed to give the illusion that it's actually perhaps an independent shop within a shop. A fishmonger, a baker, a delicatessen. Here you can see within the fish area, the whole aspect of the display has been thought through to give the illusion that you are in fact in a fishmonger's shop. From the outfit that the assistant is wearing, right the way down to the design and coloration of the displays, the actual pattern and arrangement is carefully done to maximise its visual appeal. And if it looks good, there's a good chance it will sell more.
So how are other shoppers enjoying the show?
I always buy the cold meat, and you can see they have a good turnover, so everything always looks nice and fresh.
Yeah, seeing the man in the uniform, actually I've spoke to that man before and he's helped me. He's even spoke me through how to cook the fish before.
Oh, also the fish always looks delicious.
Ice is used in between the displays to keep things looking good, but also to give the illusion of just how fresh the product is and the quality that it's come in at.
Salmon, get salmon, get salmon.
The Ranas are after a whole salmon. Surely not a problem for a fishmonger.
I wanted the whole salmon, but you haven't got it. When will you get it?
Probably this weekend.
Thanks.
Now here we can see that there's another technique being used, which is all about making sure people are buying linked sales. In the trade, it's known as good adjacencies. Here, wines are positioned alongside cheese, because there's a good chance that if you're going to buy one of these, you might need this to wash it down with.
So remember, things in store are not always what they seem. The appearance of the shop and its staff may be designed to create an impression of specialist product knowledge or expertise that's partly in place to encourage extra sales. But supermarkets are strangely democratic. They really don't care who you are or where you come from, as long as you do your shopping with them.
It's strategic. We want to be a company that caters for all. To match everybody's taste, everybody's price range, everybody's lifestyle. We're a successful company, and the reason we're successful is because we're giving the customer, what they want from us. So from our finest ranges, through our mainstream ranges, through our value-driven ranges.
And if you look around, you can see how a class system works in practice. Own brand value products in supermarkets make them almost no profit at all. The people who buy these do so because they're cheap, not because they're nicely presented.
And because stores are always looking for the fastest and most effective way to sell, some products these days don't even come in on shelves at all. In fact, this whole stack of things is on a truck and is replaced just like that.
When he's not working or shopping in Tesco, Khalid Rana and his family are heavily involved with Ilford Cricket Club. Like all businesses, supermarkets want to maximise the amount of money each customer spends and will happily try new lines if they think these will turn a profit. This is the club's annual prize-giving dinner, and its demographic makeup closely reflects the local community in this part of London. It's something that has not escaped the marketing men at Tesco HQ.
We're very proud of the fact that the lines that you see in the store directly relate back to the people who live in the area. We've got a huge Asian population and a huge Caribbean and African population, and we've got a great range to suit that. We've recently, through talking to our staff and talking to customers, realised that we have a strong Polish contingent in the area as well, and we've got people in the office at the centre working on a Polish range for us, because we think that certainly will add value.
This is the world food, isn't it? Indian.
Although they currently buy their Asian foodstuffs outside Tesco, the Ranas seem impressed by Tesco's growing ethnic food ranges.
They've got more variety here now, because I never used to have these.
Oh my God, they've got all these. I didn't even notice that. Indian biscuits.
What did you want then? A
I
chirba?
wanted, the chirba here. They're Bombay mix.
Courting local ethnic minorities is a strategy that comes from the top. Sukhwinder realises there's a lot of money to be made here.
We're going to write to all of the community centres within the few mile radius. So places like the temples, the churches, the community centres, the gurdwaras, the synagogues and so on. And we're going to go and visit those people and you know, share with them that actually, you know, we recognise your custom, you know, we recognise your specific needs, and now actually we cater for them.
Halal meat, which is suitable for the Muslim community, is one area the supermarkets see as having huge potential for growing sales.
And you can see here how things are changing. These products are specifically packaged in a way which will appeal to these consumers. At the moment, they're from another company, but watch this space. If they're successful, you might see these having the Tesco name before long.
They're coming to the end of their shop. And as they predicted, the Rana's one shopping trolley isn't big enough for everything they've been tempted to pick up.
No more.
I'll actually get one more because there's only 65.
Queuing up to pay is one of the most stressful parts of shopping, and it's where you might start to look at what you've chosen and maybe think about putting some of it back. The supermarkets do not want you to do this.
The stores are experts at using light to their advantage, and just at the point where you're about to leave, what do you see but the escape route outside? Clear open vision, it helps you queue patiently, and you know exactly where to go.
How much did it cost?
£174.
£174 is a hefty whack for a weekly shop. But the Ranas are nothing if not enthusiastic consumers, and they fell for most of the supermarket's psychological tricks. But remember Stephen Kraft? He's been successfully avoiding all the traps and pitfalls in the store, until now. Stephen's in for a shock. Advertising and branding are so powerful these days that they permeate even his subconscious mind.
What's interesting here, and here you do display a trait that is common to everybody. Whilst you ended up considering, I can't believe it's not butter, and then on to the Tesco value brand, actually as you came into the category, the first thing you looked at was Flora. Do you recall doing that?
I don't actually.
No. Well, Flora's the biggest brand in this category, and very typically the way that we shop is to use the big brands to navigate. So subconsciously you looked at Flora and that told you that's butters and margarines.
Or just subconsciously zeroed in on the Flora.
It switched you into what we call a learnt script of behaviour. Now your learnt scripts are unusual in the sense that you're so price focused, if you like.
Right.
A lot of categories like this one, people have a particular brand that is their established favourite, and that they'll shop almost in zombie mode. If it'll just go straight off the shelf and into the trolley.
Nevertheless, by the end of his shop, our experts have to admit that Stephen has indeed got the measure of the supermarkets.
I have to say that if there were more shoppers like you put retailers out of business. Stephen's unusual in the sense that he only represents about 5% of the British shopping population. His focus is so much on price, on promotions. Most of us don't shop like that. And it's interesting that whilst a lot of people claim that price is important when you talk to them, actually when you study their actual behaviour, yes, they buy into the idea that such and such a retailer is good value, but they don't actually price check. Partly because shopping for most people is such a chore anyway, that going through the whole process of the decision making that Stephen was doing, it just makes what is an awful chore much, much harder.
The Ranas spent more than £174 on their shop, while Stephen's cost just over 30 quid. At first glance, they couldn't seem more different from one another. But look again, there's one factor that unites them, and it's what makes them both come back to this store again and again. They both use the Tesco Club Card.
I like Club Card because it saves me money, definitely saves me money.
The good thing about it is it's a good incentive to do a bit more shopping in one hit and keep coming down the supermarket time and time again.
Such loyalty schemes are hugely popular with us shoppers. But to qualify for their discounts and rewards, you have to agree to hand over personal information to the supermarkets.
This information is very detailed. With the Club Card, for instance, they'll know who you are, where you live, how many children you've got, what you eat and drink, and exactly what you've ever bought at Tesco's. This personal information is data-based and kept by the company to build up a profile of your circumstances and your shopping habits. But is all this just a bit too personal?
They know everything about your shopping habits. And these club card vouchers that they send through are designed to get you in and perhaps sort of overspend and buy a bit more.
But isn't this a form of spying on customers?
Well, you could argue it's spying, but basically I think it's about doing a good job, and it's really how you use the data that makes the difference. Basically we've always had very strong morals about how we use the data. We only use the data in the interest of the customer. We want people to stay in Clubcard, and after all, Clubcard's completely voluntary.
Whatever you think of loyalty cards and the information they have on us, they're very effective marketing tools and help to build a relationship with this or that supermarket chain.
So they know exactly what you're buying. So I suppose what they do is they'll say, oh, he's bought this product, or he hasn't bought this product. And then that's probably how they send the vouchers out, to encourage you to buy the product. That's the name of the game, isn't it?
This is not something that shoppers don't know about. And it's a trade-off that we're prepared to make, is that if I share some of my personal buying habits with you, if you like, then I get a reward. It may be time-based or it may be financial. Please don't think of shoppers as stupid people. We are very cynical about marketing. We are very savvy about what the supermarkets are trying to do to us. And we are consciously making the decision that it is worth me giving this information over in return for what it offers for me, again, in terms of time, in terms of pounds in my pocket.
All of which bodes well for the large supermarkets as they look to strengthen their grip on our shopping habits.
That was fascinating, I must say.
It's a real eye-opener, isn't it?
It is. I don't think I'm ever going to look at a supermarket in quite the same way again, I must say. What do you think we've learned, really?
Well, I think customers have to recognise that every time they enter a store like this, that the stores are using many different principles and techniques to try and encourage them to buy more.
What can we do then to kind of beat them at their own game?
Well, as a shopper, there are some simple rules of the game. And if you only want to come out spending exactly what you planned originally, always take a shopping list, and that's the first start point. Never shop on impulse. Certainly never shop when you're hungry. And if it's possible, leave the kids at home, because they will always encourage you to buy more.
That'll be the day. Thanks very much.
Okay.
But our love affair with supermarkets shows no sign of waning. They're everywhere, and they're spreading. And as they come to dominate the physical landscape, supermarkets also take root in our minds. So much so that we may forget there was ever a different way of going shopping, which would suit the supermarkets just fine. But what sort of future are we building if the only choice we have while shopping is deciding which superstore to visit?
It's convenience, isn't it, really? Because life's busy as it is, and who's got time to go to sort of 4 shops where you can just go to one and get 90% of your stuff, really? At the end of the day, it's easy to park there. Everything's under one roof, isn't it? That's the problem. We're our own worst enemy sometimes, humans.